last time that the Georgia Southern Eagles and the Arkansas State Red Wolves faced off was nearly 30 years ago. The year was 1986. The head coach was Erk Russell, and the game was the Division I AA National Championship.
5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, it's all over, folks. We're national champions. The second national championship in a row.
It was only 5 years after the football program was reinstated at Georgia Southern, and the Eagles were playing for their second national championship. The Georgia Southern Eagles headed into 1986 with a target on their backs after winning their first national championship over Furman in 1985. The team traveled across the country to Tacoma, Washington for the title game alongside faithful Georgia Southern fans. The Eagles entered the game with a record of 14-2, returning 9 of the 11 starters from the previous year, as well as legendary head coach Erk Russell. The Eagles had confidence heading into the title game, determined to make history as the first ever Division I AA team to win 2 national championships in a row.
We weren't fazed by anything. We felt like when we got on the field, no one could stop us. That's the mentality that we had going into all our games.
First and goal. Georgia Southern up 3-0. Let's make it 9-0. Gerald Harris slices in off right tackle.
We felt like if we made the playoff, that's all we need to do, just make the playoff, and then we'll take it one game at a time. One game at a time, and that's what we did.
Arkansas State was known for its defense, which was ranked number 1 at the time. But the high-powered offense Georgia Southern possessed, led by All-American quarterback Tracy Ham, showed that the Eagles would have no problem putting some points on the board.
I think we had them on the heels from the start of the game. We got a couple field goals early, which really upset us because we felt like we should have got the ball in the end zone. So when you have a team that's that tough defensively, what you'll find is as close you get to the end zone, the tougher they get. And so that caused us to have to kick field goals early. But we were able to get them spread out and really produce some offensive numbers that game.
Quarterback Tracy Ham takes the quick drop, then heads upfield on the quarterback draw.
Offensive numbers is right. Georgia Southern tallied 603 total yards in that game against Arkansas State, not to mention 486 of those, which were by Tracy Ham himself. Ham rushed for a total of 180 yards, scoring 3 touchdowns in his last game as an Eagle. But this was the norm for Tracy Ham, who was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2007, and whose number is one of the 2 to ever be retired at Georgia Southern.
Playing with Tracy, it was really ideal because, I got amazed sometimes. At times, I had to tell myself, hey, you can't sit here and watch this guy run. You got to help block,
Tracy Ham was a pivotal part of the 1986 Georgia Southern Championship football team, which claimed a 48-21 victory over Arkansas State for their second national championship in a row. These iconic moments in Georgia Southern history are those that helped create the program that exists today. People like Coach Russell, Tracy Ham, Gerald Harris, and all of the athletes that were involved helped to lay the foundation for the Georgia Southern football program that exists today.
So one of the biggest things we talked about was really laying a foundation that future programs can be built off, and understood that, hey, we had a history of winning, and we had to, when you have Coach Russell as your coach, he really did a good job of our mindset, getting our mindset in this, building the program, building the winning program, that future teams will look back and say, hey, this program here is a blue-collar, hard-nosed, we don't care what we have, we take what we have and we make the best out of it. And as I look at where we are now, it's really a treat to watch these young men be able to sit on the foundation that was built and understand the history. We saw it at the ULM game where it looked like everything said about us we were going to get beat, but we were able to just come up with a play when we had to. And I think that kind of embodies our history from where we come from, that we always have a chance to win as long as time is on the clock. And I think our kids have really bought into that tradition and that history of the program.
Everyone who's involved with Georgia Southern understands the importance of maintaining history and tradition, which was built from the ground up. The Eagles will certainly keep that in mind when they face off against the Arkansas State Red Wolves for the second time in history this Wednesday. For Georgia Southern All Access, I'm Maggie Tyler.